Hi, this is Lino Navarro and Tony Puccio with PM Nakna Events Group in Jackson's doing an exclusive interview for Zentripz. Today I have a very special guest all the way from Australia. I have Mobin Master. How you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Great, doing really good, man. So for all the listeners who haven't, who don't know much about you, can you go ahead and explain your background a little bit?
Well, I was born in Australia. I'm of Iranian background, and I don't know how to make bombs.
Nice.
The only bomb, I'm hoping the only bombs I make are for the dance floor. So I've been producing music for quite some time out of the little island called Australia, where we've just got our own little vibe happening there for some reason. We've got our own sort of sound and scene, and I think Australia's scene is quite healthy now with a lot of boys coming out of there, Dirty South, Timmy Rock, Hook and Sling, Tommy Trash now. There's just so many talented people that are just starting to get recognition there because I suppose we've just got our own little vibe happening. We're just stuck on this island. And I mean, basically the breakthrough track for me was Show Me Love that I did. The cover of the first cover that actually got any attention in 2007, which was subsequently sampled by Hardwell and mashed up, and my name mysteriously dropped off it. And I had re-recorded all the vocals, did the whole thing again, and that was the version that actually took it to the next level and blew up. And that's why people may not have actually heard of me, but that's the version that they sing along to.
So you did that track before Steve Angelo?
Absolutely. That was theirs came out in mid 2008, quite a time afterwards, and mine. They were actually playing. Ingrosso and Angelo played my version New Year's Eve at a massive festival in England. I think it's called Global Gathering. That's right, at Global Gathering, and apparently the place just erupted when it was dropped. Some punter from London actually sent me a message on Facebook and said, someone just dropped your version, Ingrosso and Angelo dropped your version of Show Me Love, the Safari mix, and the whole of Global Gathering just exploded. So yeah, it was so it was definitely beforehand, and then Michael Mind and Every Man and His Dog did their own version.
Nice. Now you just mentioned your label Safari Music. When did you open that, and how long has it been? How long you been hitting it?
Well, we pretty much launched my label with Show Me Love as one of the first tracks, and that's why I called the main mix of Show Me Love Safari Mix, so that the label gets recognition. So people wonder what it is, and hopefully they finally found out that that's his label. So it's been going for 3 and a bit years. I had a partner before, and now I'm running it single-handedly, and now with a friend of mine who's co-producing and doing some artwork on the side, you know, as a collaboration thing. But overall, I'm sort of the main running the label as well on my own for 3.5 years, and we've had 42 releases. So
nice.
It's not too bad.
Awesome. Yeah, we just had our track you and I worked on together with Willie Morales, Get Funked, hit Juicy. And I set up Google Alerts, and I swear to God, I get an email, at least 1 or 2 a day. Now, you as a label owner, how do you feel about the blogs? Are they helping us? Are they hurting us? What do you think? What's your take on that?
I think music nowadays is becoming like the internet, in that it's excuse me, it's available to everyone. It's pretty much free. So I think labels are now a promotional tool for the artists. And a lot of people are speaking to the MYNC project, who's got his label, as you know, CR2. And he said that what he does is he signs up his artists. Or actually, sorry, no, it was Miles Dyson. I saw him at a festival in Brazil. And he said that what he does is he signs up his artists. He puts out his tracks on the label, but it never makes any money. But when the artists tour off the back of the tunes, he gets a cut. So that's how they make money. So basically, I think in the first few weeks, you can delete the Zippy shares or whatever, but once it's gone, and you have to just bite the bullet and realize that music is just becoming an entity for everyone.
Tell us about some current releases you have out, and what can we expect from you in the near future?
Well, of course, the collaboration with yourself, Willie Morales, and Tate Strauss, who's one of my partners in crime in Safari Music in the stable. We got together in Melbourne and did that track Get Fun, which is out on Juicy Music right now. That just came out, didn't it?
Yeah, it's been out a couple of weeks.
That's a cool track, and the remix, what's his name? I can't pronounce it.
Well, I'm gonna give it a shot. Don't laugh. Maurizio Gubaggini.
Yeah, he's Italian, obviously.
Yeah.
um, his remix has got a little bit of hype on it as well, so that's exciting stuff. The most recent, that's the most recent release, and then going back one in my house, which had a remix competition and got quite a few remixes. It's Martin Villeneuve, who is from Canada. He did a remix for me, and that's number 3 on trackitdown.com. So that's done really, really well. And Laidback Luke, Tiesto, all kinds of people have been supporting this track. And that's, In My House was actually co-produced by Laidback Luke as a silent producer. So that was good. MC Flipside, Roger Sanchez and myself did a collaboration called Worldwide when Roger came through Melbourne. We knocked up a track together, and they came out on Stealth Records and Ultra in the US. So that's sort of doing the rounds. I think that hit the Billboard charts, went in the top 10 Billboard charts, top chart.
And you know, one track that I've been putting a lot in my rotations is the one that you, Tony, Pedro M, and Willie Morales did when they were in Australia, the Bring That Beat Back.
Bring That Beat Back.
Man, I've been pushing that like crazy on my rotations. I love that track, and everybody's been just jiving to that thing, man. It's been
thank
really
you very much.
Track.
Yeah, we all had a lot of fun with that, didn't we? We knocked it out in, 6 hours or something together?
Yeah, that was pretty funny when you sent me the message, said, look, we're in the top 100. Not bad for 6 hours of work.
Yeah, man. It's just when you got a vibe happening, and it was quite funny when Pedro is constantly just going, bring that beat. And we're going, no. Will you stop that, man? Shut up. He just wouldn't let out, would he? He wouldn't stop. And so we thought, okay, get on the mic, do your thing. And then it actually sounds wicked. It sounds like we sampled it from somewhere. We turned it into a sample. It was good fun.
Yeah, it sounds really cool, man. You also did a remix or a track with Alice DJ too, didn't you?
Yeah, I just recently finished a mix with Tate Strauss, the guy who works with me at Safari. The Alice DJ Better Off Alone got a remix by Laidback Luke, and he does these bootlegs of these old tracks, and then labels go, oh, well, let's release it. Might as well, because Laidback Luke's done a mix. So just as he did, I can't remember. He's done quite a few tracks like that. Anyway, the Alice DJ came out, and we thought it was an opportunity to have a go at a remix. So we've done a really slamming, dirty electro mix of it.
Now, touring all over the world and everything, I mean, what is that? Has that changed anything about you, or any perspective in life that you've seen? Or?
It's made me appreciate being at home, I suppose, a bit more, and having my family and friends around me. But it's also made me appreciate how amazing the world is and how much there is to offer it, and also how small it is because of the internet now. The world is just tiny now. Everyone, especially in our industry, the music industry, we all know each other pretty much. So you piss someone off, or you screw someone's girlfriend, they're going to find out. So the key is keep your mouth shut.
Well, speaking of the social media, actually, what are your links that people can follow you at?
Okay, well, the best thing is the portal to freedom. The portal is www.mobinmaster.com. And in that, I've got integrated my SoundCloud, my YouTube, the whole works. So you can basically track down everything from there. But otherwise, it's my Facebook.com Mobin Master, SoundCloud.com Mobin Master, Twitter.com Mobin Master. It's quite surprising, isn't it? The only thing that's a little bit weird or different is YouTube.com Mobin Master TV, only because everyone else does that.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, when you're going to be coming to Jackson's on Saturday night.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody's really hyped up for this event. Any special stuff you're going to be dropping that night, or?
Well, it's all special, baby. Don't you worry. I re-edit on planes almost every trip. So a bootleg a day keeps the doctor away. So I change versions to remix versions. I even find or source acapellas. I even sometimes record acapellas to have them. So. Even, I don't know whether people know the bootleg of Toka's Miracle that I did. That I heard a lot of people have been dropping that bootleg. The vocal was re-recorded, and I threw it on the top of the Chucky remix.
Oh, nice.
And that's got a fair few plays. And Don't Let Me Go, the David Guetta track?
Yeah, I know that one, yeah.
I mashed that with a Hardwell track. It's interesting how it was Hardwell, right? And That's had that's had about 1.3 million views on YouTube since last year.
Wow.
So, and I mashed that on a plane to New Zealand from Australia, which is only a 2-hour trip, so very, very quick. And I've also got my guitar with me, so that's actually a lot of fun. People dig that. It's a proper. I play my keyboard live on the top of my music, and I omit the keyboard line and play the actual keyboard line completely live. So there'll be a lot of fun. People like that stuff too. I have more fun as well because I get bored with 3 or 4 CDJs. I mean, I've got to do something else as well. In Brazil, actually, there was a median strip between the two crowds. In the back, there was barriers straight down the middle of the stage on the actual floor, and there's about 4,000 people there. So I actually jumped off the subwoofers with the keyboard and ran up and down that hallway in the middle. Nice. So that was a lot of fun too.
Pulling Motley Crue up in there.
Rock style, yeah. Well, if I had a second guitar, I'd smash it as well. For fun.
I think Tony did that once in one of his Puccio shows. I think he took the guitar and smashed it over there.
Beautiful thing.
All right, so as far as touring and going around the world, do you have a favorite place you like to visit or play, or is there a favorite club you like to DJ at?
I think I'm really digging Brazil at the moment because, especially Florianopolis, it doesn't matter where I play in Florianopolis, it's a bit of a beach party town, and I get on the mic and just have fun with it, and they just go bananas, and they go crazy, and the people are beautiful, and they're friendly and warm, and yeah, the girls are just gorgeous as well, but that's just a side issue. It's just that seems to be a good place for me at the moment. I also there's 1 or 2 really good clubs in Australia that have amazing lighting and sound as well that I like playing. New Zealand is a lot of fun too. You know what? You take the good with the bad because sometimes there's some gigs that are quite quiet. You got to be honest with yourself. But not every gig is going to be incredible, and that's why you have more fun at the crazy gigs and you appreciate them more.
So, what got you started into the dance music scene?
Well, I used to be. Tony was. You were in a band, weren't you as well, Tony?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I'm a muso by trade. That's how I started out. And I used to be a lead singer in a band, and I was the bass player only because we fired the old bass player, and I just picked up the bass and started playing it. And from there, in the mid '90s, I bought a sampler and started getting into dance music, and then this DJ I met many years ago in Melbourne said, "Nah, your music's irrelevant. You need to become a DJ." So I said, "Okay, screw you. I'm going to become a DJ and try to make my music relevant." So that's where it all started. That's when I started DJing. I bought the vinyl and got enough money to get some turntables together and kept it up while I kept studying.
Cool, man. Cool. So where do you see the underground scene 5 years from now?
I think there's a big shift right now where there's going to be a divide between the underground and the commercial scene because of David Guetta and all his collaborations with the urban and vocal R&B stuff. The underground is making a backlash, so to speak. So I think that it's going to go really, really hard, like techno, hard electro and techno. And then there'll be the electro pop stuff that's going to keep going for another few years as well, and maybe the Dutch stuff. I believe the Dutch is finished in the underground; it's gone, completely gone. And it's done a 360 turn. I think electro and techno is back.
What are your primary inspirations in the music scene? Any producers that you look up to, or anyone that really influenced your style quite a bit over the years?
I actually look at everybody, and I look at what everyone is doing, and all the big boys that are producing. I've looked at future music videos with Tate. He's been very encouraging. Tate, who works with me, to really do a lot of internet research, and I've been really spending a lot of time doing that. And people like, the future music videos, you see people like Ian Carey who do things a certain way in different programs, and then you see other producers or DJs like Afrojack and how he plays. He uses Fruity Loops, and then Tiesto gave a little bit of a speech in Melbourne, a masterclass about how things are done, and that actually influenced me recently. It was only this year where he said, and you remember this, Tony, when he came to the studio, that he was talking about Afrojack and how we just sample this, sample that, take the best bits and just slap it out. And then I thought, wait a minute, why am I doing it the hard way when you don't have to do it the hard way? If there's good samples, there's good loops, you can just use them and put them out there. And we know between all of us, there's DJs out there who just use sample packs, did almost nothing, put a kick drum underneath it, and made a huge tune. So I think it's just observing everyone and learn. You can learn from anyone, even a new producer or like some young kid who's come along. Some of these kids have got plenty to offer and they've got some new ideas. So I just think you just got to be very open-minded and not arrogant about what you do.
What's your current music setup right now in your studio? Is there a particular instrument you favor or particular synth?
I'm using a lot of Native Instruments Massive and the dubstep sounds. I'm really getting into those crazy, dirty wobbles. I'm using Vengeance sample packs. I'm liking Silent. I'm only finding that Silent is overused now, and so is Vanguard, where everyone's just making that big room trance, keyboard, house mafia kind of thing, and I'm trying to keep away from that because I believe that, and that's what Tiesto said at his masterclass, you've got to try to stand out. So that's why I'm just trying to do different things to everybody else, because why did Show Me Love work? Everything was dark, nasty electro, and all of a sudden I come out with this organ. Do
you have any a current project or an old project that you currently favor at the moment right now?
Well, I'm actually, I mean, in My House is a bit of a favorite for me because just that a cappella works really well over anything. You know, in my house, you know, just everyone knows that kind of a cappella, and I'm very excited about a new project. I'm embarking on a new album, so watch out for that. It's going to be full vocals, and every song's going to tell a story because I'm working with a lyricist now who's just a genius. So I'm working on one track with this girl in Melbourne, and she is an incredible singer. And it's going to be a video clip and an international remix, and it'll be sort of hoping to get it out very, very soon, within about 3 months, before Christmas, before summer, Australia.
So do you have any advice for any up-and-coming music producers and DJs out there that you can give them?
I think what I talked about before is getting on the forums. Even the Laid-Back Luke forum is very good. Getting online and researching and seeing what people do, see how people compress, sidechain, EQ, programs, sample packs, just getting ideas. It's everything you need is on Google. Everything you need is on forums on the internet to work out how these people do stuff. You look at how Avicii does his stuff. You look at how, Rehab, for example. I studied one of his tracks, with a fine tooth comb. I did the Alice DJ inspired by what he does, and this tune has worked out a treat, but it's different because what you do is you get ideas from the guys who are on the edge. What you do is get their ideas, but then you try to progress it, change it, make it a bit newer, make it a bit different, but not quite scary. You don't want to scare people away either. You just need to make it different enough that it stands out. The transitions, it's quite interesting. The transitions need to be smooth on the dance floor because when you're dancing, if something suddenly changes, you don't want to be embarrassed. You don't want to look like an idiot. You want to chuggle. You don't want to stand out in the audience. So I think that's why when you hear these abrasive electro tracks, the transitions are still smooth.
Are there any producers that you haven't worked with yet that you would like to work with in the future?
Well, I think, all of us would like to knock up a tune with Afrojack because I think he's an extremely talented guy, and I'd love to do something with him that isn't Dutch, but just progresses the sound a bit, does something new or something crazy. I think we're all looking for that new sound. Who else would I like to? I'm happy to work with any of the boys that have done something fun or new, and a lot of them out there. I'm just thinking of anyone else that I really would be keen. Someone like Armin van Buuren and Tiesto, that'll be good. I'm actually pretty easygoing with stuff like that, so as long as you have fun.
Well, cool, man. Well, we're going to have you Saturday night at Jackson's. Everybody's looking forward to it.
So am I.
And everybody's definitely looking to see you rock the house, bro.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun.